You know, every time we talk about Netanyahu and his indictment or South Africa's involvement, I know we have had this discussion before. I get a little worried um, how South Africa has not been that proactive when it comes to African nations. And they're so interested in what is happening in the Middle East. Well, you had argued that a little bit, Barrister Mbesia, some weeks ago when we had a conversation like this. But I get worried because that's what Ambazonia is seeking right now. And that's one of the reasons for the transition fund drive, where we're able to have those who have those of substance to articulate our plight in high offices, and that can make a difference. So I don't want us to waste so much time on this. It's about lobbying nations, lobbying parties or diplomats that can be involved. On Twitter, oh, I saw a report with one person that is interested and saying that they are already having backdoor discussions on having the US officially recognizing, I don't know how authentic that report is, officially recognizing Somaliland. And the Somaliland question is not very distant from ours. So these are some of the areas I want the both of you to talk on. We take a brief break and we come up to give some conclusions because in the next 30 minutes, the meeting with the president this afternoon in Washington should be starting. So I'll begin with you, Barrister Fru. Let's just talk on it not too long, and then we take a break, and Barrister Mbesia will react to it before we move on to the last segment of this evening's program. Barrister Fru, please.
I read that report also about the U.S. about to recognize Somaliland, and it rang a bell in my head. I said, if the U.S. is about to recognize Somaliland, what about Ambazonia? What about Ambazonia? Somaliland was part of Somalia, but we have never been part of La République du Cameroon. Our history is even clearer than Somaliland. What makes us different from Somaliland is the fact that we were a trust territory under the British, under the UK. Somaliland was a trust territory under the UK. But Somalia was a trust territory under the UK, but they were together. Somaliland was part of Somalia, but we were not part of La République du Cameroon. So La République du Cameroon has never been under the trust territory, the trusteeship of the British. We were, and the British were supposed to prepare us for self-governance and independence. They didn't, because of the so-called plebiscite and even the 1608 that they were supposed to articulate for us joining La République du Cameroon. They abstained. They abandoned us. Why is the US ignoring us? It's a question that the Biden administration has not been able to answer. And we are hoping that the next coming administration will answer that question for us. We are dreaming and dreaming big that this time around maybe things will move better than we have received in the last 4 years. Because you compare the two administrations as it concerns Ambazonia, the Trump administration in its first term did a lot for us, a lot. They suspended Cameroon from AGOA. They withdrew their military cooperation with Cameroon. They withdrew military equipment from Cameroon so that they should not use it on us. They issued a ban on the use of any equipment supplied by the United States on the territory of the Southern Cameroons. They stopped training of the so-called BIR, Brigade Intervention Rapide, which is the main force that has slaughtered our people over the years, over 8 years. They did all that, but they were caught by time because a new administration came on. And when the new administration came on, it went to sleep. They did nothing for us. With all the diplomatic footwork, with all the lobbying, with everything that we did, nothing
Yeah,
happened.
I want to think that
Except,
we're planting. I want to think that. Sorry, I want to think that we're planting a seed that will surely bear some fruits. Barrister Besia, maybe you want to react to that. And I like
Yes.
you. I know your sentiments when it comes to South Africa's involvement with the Middle East and all of that. But it is troubling that we've not had an African country. And South Africa is a major nation in Africa that has been oppressed, especially the blacks in South Africa have suffered oppression like the people of the Southern Cameroons. But they have not, sorry, they have not been intentional diplomatically, even to talk about the crimes against humanity committed in Cameroon. Now, Biya walks freely in any country he wants. Nobody's indicting him. There's just, it's like some kind of a special grace with this guy. He fries babies in palm oil. He beheads Sam Sawyer. He shoots people on camera. He orders the beating of Longe Longe. And we can equate this with what is happening in Gaza. And he walks around like Marima, welcome with red carpets, being treated in one of the most prestigious hospitals in the world. And we're worried. The discrepancies are very clever all to speak. I like you to speak. I know why you're laughing. I'm provoking you to
Well,
speak.
buddy, I don't think you should worry. Don't be worried about that. This is what is going on. South Africa, like any other country in the world, the UN has 190 something member countries. They pick and choose. Let us understand the steps that we'll talk about Netanyahu and the defense minister. Let us see the steps that it has taken. South Africa played a role. What did they do? The first thing they did, they went to The Hague as a single nation. They sued at The Hague, at the International Court, as one country. They brought the case there between Palestine and Israel. One country. That was South Africa. The reason behind it, I don't care. One country did it. So one country, remember, any member state of the United Nations, out of the 190 something, can bring a case before The Hague, including Equatorial Guinea. I mean, tiniest countries you can imagine. They can do it. Can Ambazonia find one? They can. It's possible. Once he finished with The Hague, the issue of recognition of Palestine was now on the limelight. Many countries around the world joined the coalition, including about 30 countries from Africa, and moved on. And today, the United States is not even a member of the ICC. But today, we have what we are debating. So we don't care if South Africa does not do it. Someone else can do it. Our diplomacy should be able to work out those things. So we have no cause to be so sad about it. Then asking about the recognition of Somali Land and the recognition of Ambazonia. If you want my opinion as an individual, I will tell you Ambazonia shall be recognized. It's just a question of time. Forget about the history. The history is important, what President So said. But let us just give one example. Sudan, we have two Sudans, Sudan and South Sudan. The whole country called Sudan was only one country. They didn't have two countries there.